Welcome to the Book Frame channel. Today, we are diving into a book that doesn't just challenge financial advice, it completely torches the rulebook. We're talking about The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco, and it promises to shatter everything you thought you knew about building wealth.
Think about this for a second. What if that financial advice we've all been fed our whole lives? Go to school, get a good job, save 10%. What if it's actually a losing game? A trap designed to make you trade the best years of your life for the mere hope of being wealthy when you're old. DeMarco argues there's a hidden shortcut, a way to live rich now and retire decades early. But, and this is a big but, it means you have to unlearn everything society has taught you about money.
Right, so DeMarco has a name for this conventional path. He calls it the Slowlane. It's this promise of wealth in a wheelchair. Basically, it's a strategy that tells you to sacrifice your youth, your energy, your best years, all for a payday that might only come when you're too old to really enjoy it. It's a deferred life plan, plain and simple.
And he doesn't pull any punches when describing it. He says, this dictation is a decree to trade life for life. It's the long way, and no, it isn't scenic. Let that sink in. It's not just a slow journey, it's an active trade of your life today for a future that's not even guaranteed.
Okay, so to really get the alternative, we need to understand the book's core idea. DeMarco lays out 3, and only 3, financial roadmaps. And here's the kicker. The roadmap you're on right now isn't just guiding your journey. It is literally dictating your final destination.
First up, we have the Sidewalk. Honestly, this is less of a plan and more of a total lack of one. It's all about instant gratification. I want it, and I want it now. People on the Sidewalk live paycheck to paycheck, using debt to fund their lifestyle. And here's the scary part. It doesn't matter if they make 30 grand a year or $3 million. They are always one bad day away from financial ruin. Then you've got the slow lane, and this is the one most of us are taught to follow. It's the path of so-called mediocrity. Get the job, max out the 401k, invest for 40 years, and hope for the best. But what's the fundamental flaw here? Well, your entire financial future is in someone else's hands. Your boss, the stock market, the economy. You have almost no control. And finally, we arrive at the fast lane. Now, this is a completely different animal. It's a roadmap driven by a business system that you create and you control. The wealth equation here has nothing to do with trading hours for dollars. Nope. It's all about net profit and asset value. This is what unlocks explosive growth, and it's all on your terms. So let's break this down a bit more. This table really shows you the deep-seated mindset differences. Look at debt. The sidewalker sees it as a way to buy more stuff. The slow laner is terrified of it. But the fast laner, they see it as a potential tool for leverage. And then there's the big one, time. For the slow laner, time is something you trade for money. But for the fast laner, it's the single most important asset you have. Period. All right, so you're probably thinking, how do I actually get on this fast lane? Well, it all starts with understanding the engine that drives it and why the slow lane is, by its very nature, designed to keep you from ever getting truly wealthy. Here's the problem with the slow lane, boiled down. It's built on what DeMarco calls uncontrollable limited leverage, or ULL. Your leverage is limited. There are only so many hours you can work. And it's uncontrollable. You can't control your boss, your salary cap, or what the stock market does tomorrow. You're just hoping. Hoping you don't get fired, hoping the market goes up. And as DeMarco says, hope is not a financial plan. The fast lane, on the other hand, is the complete opposite. It's built on controllable, unlimited leverage, CUL. You own the whole system. You control the variables. You decide the price, you run the marketing, you manage the operations. Your potential isn't limited by the 24 hours in a day or some average market return. You can actually influence the outcome. And this leads to one of the biggest mental shifts in the entire book. You have to switch from being a consumer to becoming a producer. See, society trains us from day one to buy. But to get on the fast lane, you have to flip that switch in your brain. Instead of asking, where can I buy that? You start asking, how can I sell that? You stop chasing trends and start creating them. And right there, that is the ultimate secret. This is the core philosophy of the entire fast lane. Your wealth cannot be changed to your time. To achieve real freedom, you have to completely divorce your income from the hours you put in. So, how on earth do you do that? Well, you build what DeMarco calls money trees. These are business systems that grow and produce fruit, income, without you having to tend to them every single second. Think about it. Software that runs on its own, a book or a course that sells while you're asleep, an automated rental system, these are things that shatter that old trade 5 days of work for 2 days of freedom model. But, and this is super important, not just any business will work. There's a huge warning here. A lot of small businesses are just jobs that you've created for yourself with a lot more risk. A true Fastlane business, a real money tree, has to follow a very specific set of rules.
And it all starts with the foundational principle of wealth. DeMarco calls it the law of affection. Think of it like a law of physics for money. It's the ultimate mathematical truth, and it says that the more lives you affect, either in scale or in magnitude, the richer you will become.
I mean, it's that simple and that profound. You want to make millions of dollars? You have to impact millions of lives. Wealth isn't something you chase. It's a byproduct. It's the receipt you get after you've provided massive value to a massive number of people. Okay, so how do you make sure your business idea can actually do that? How do you know it's a real Fastlane vehicle? Well, you have to run it through a filter, a test. DeMarco calls them the 5 commandments, and the acronym is NEST. Let's run through them real quick. First, N for need. You have to solve a real problem. Stop chasing your passion and start solving other people's pain points. E is for entry. If anyone and their dog can start the same business in a weekend, it's a terrible business. The barrier to entry has to be there. C is for control. You need to be in the driver's seat, not relying on some other platform. S is for scale. Can this business grow to serve a city, a country, the world? And finally, T for time. Can this business eventually be detached from your personal time?
So when you put it all together, what is the Fastlane really about? It's about grabbing the steering wheel. It's about getting out of the passenger seat of someone else's car and into the driver's seat of your own life and your own financial destiny.
And that really brings us to the final hard-hitting question the book leaves you with. So I'll ask you, are you in the driver's seat of a Fastlane business, one that solves a real need? Or are you still just a passenger in the slow lane, trading away the best years of your life for a simple paycheck? According to MJ DeMarco, the choice, the power to switch lanes, is and always will be yours.